Yes.
Okay, girls. So last class, what can you see on the screen? Can you see human health, chapter number 2?
Yeah. Yes.
So we started with immunity, that is the immune system. So quickly, can one of you just recollect and say me what were the words? What were the vocabulary words? At least 3 or 4 vocabulary words.
Me one.
One, the one which I told you, yes.
I have
Pathogen,
Pathogen, yes, very good, because you learned about pathogen yesterday. Any other vocabulary word?
T cell.
immune,
T cell, very good.
immunity,
Immunity, very good.
immune system,
Immune system, okay, yes, that was the vocabulary, very good.
Miss
Mhm.
pathogen.
Pathogen, was pathogen, and
B cell. B cell.
Welcome to the
your
lesson.
textbook. Open your textbook and say me the vocabulary words quickly.
B cell.
Let me just write here with you.
antibody,
Let me write here.
microorganism,
Okay, you told me pathogen,
Edward.
T cells,
B cell.
okay, B cells, okay, am I right?
antibody,
Antibody,
microphage,
Vaccine.
macrophage,
T cell, and
yes,
Miss which page?
101,
Hmm?
101,
please can you just say page number?
Immunity.
Immunity, okay, and then
Vaccine. And
vacuum,
vaccine, okay,
vaccine,
page what? Page
101,
What?
101,
Miss
Okay.
immune system. Immune system.
immune system, okay. So are these pathogen, T cells, B cells, antibody, macrophage, immunity, vaccine, and immune system? And that we learned about, one second. We learned about pathogen, right?
yeah.
All right. So who will say me what is a pathogen? Dana, can you say me what is a pathogen? What is a pathogen?
Is an organism that causes disease and
Any organism or
causes disease or virus.
foreign substance like bacteria, parasites, fungi, and viruses. These, they enter in the body to cause diseases. They are harmful for our body. They're not good. Now, I told you there are defensive system or who defends your pathogens, you against those pathogens, external and internal. So what are the things externally present that has the ability to fight, and what are the one which are internal? Who will tell me external and internal? Do you remember yesterday I told you external and internal? So what were the parts externally present in your body which are able to fight with this? No one?
Miss, I know it, but I don't know if it's like internal or
Say me, anything. Even if you're wrong, it's okay.
there's tears,
Very good. Tears.
and skin,
Tears, correct.
sweat,
Sweat, yes.
and
It was spleen, tonsils, thymus. And how about the internal one? Anyone else? Dana or Majdaleen or Dishan? What's inside? Yes?
Are pathogens in different places
Yes? Okay, let me continue now.
all around? If pathogens do manage to enter your body, the next line of defenses are internal defenses.
We will talk about internal defenses. As I told you, internal defenses means which is controlled by white blood cells. That's very important. WBC, white blood cells. Next, tonsils. I told you tonsils are present, which cannot let the bacteria enter into the inside the body. It is a pathway from the esophagus. Okay, so now let us continue. Listen to this and then I will explain you one by one.
Click each image to learn more about how internal defenses work.
Let us start with antigen. What are antigen?
An antigen is a foreign material, a material that is not part of your body. Many, but not all, antigens are proteins. Some are toxins secreted or released by pathogens such as bacteria. Antigens can trigger and activate an immune response.
So girls, antigen are present. Usually they are made up of proteins, which is released by these pathogens. These pathogens like bacteria, virus, and fungi, they have special protein inside them, which they release into our body, and that is nothing but called as antigen. And they trigger. What does trigger means? It goes and disturbs and activate an immune response. Immediately when it enters the body, what is the immune response? You get fever, you get throat pain, you get running nose. All those are response. Everyone is so quiet. Tell me, is it clear or no?
Yes.
Or stop me where you don't understand, okay?
okay.
Inflammation and fever are internal defenses.
You know the meaning of inflammation?
No.
No? Okay. Imagine your brother or your sister came and just pinched you. And it becomes red in color. Why? That part of muscle or that skin, it got inflamed. If you want, please note it down in your book, in the notes, at every lesson, after every lesson, there are notes. Write down the word inflammation means redness. It becomes red, that area becomes red. It can be muscle inflammation, it can be bone inflammation, it can be any inflammation. Inflammation means redness in that area. It becomes red in color, okay? And it's painful. That's why the doctor gives anti-inflammatory. Those drugs or those medicines are called anti-inflammatory. Anyway, yes?
Inflammation. What did I?
Inflammation means redness. Redness. R-E-D-N-E-S-S. It becomes red. It could be inflammation in your eye, inflammation of the skin, inflammation inside your body, anywhere, girls. It can be anywhere, okay?
The area that's painful.
Yeah, that becomes red in color, okay. And then it's painful.
Inflammation involves swelling and redness caused by increased blood flow to an injured area, like a cut to the skin. Cell pieces, called platelets, help seal the open wound. Fever, as you may know, is an elevation.
Now girls, imagine you had met with an accident or a small accident in the kitchen. Like example, you cut your hand with a knife used when you were cutting an apple, or accidentally something happened. What do you think at that time, the blood, that area, the blood becomes thick. You can see the clots. You can see that it is clogging there. It's clots. It's blocking. The blood becomes little thick. It becomes thick.
Why this happens?
Because if it doesn't become thick, maybe it can allow more blood to flow, or it becomes sticky so that the material from outside, maybe imagine it is a wound on your toe. The toe or our feet is full of bacteria because we walk. And we sweat. Because of that, the bacteria grows. So, and there is a wound. That wound will become more worse if this bacteria enter deep inside our skin. So that's the reason they clean with that red solution, the anti-inflammatory or antibacterial solution, so that it gets rid of it. So the blood, the clot, the blood becomes thick, so that the material, the foreign material, the virus, the bacteria, it goes and stick to that blood, and then we wipe the blood which is there, which is seen on the surface. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so let us continue now.
In body temperature, which makes your body an inhospitable place for some pathogens to survive. White blood cells are involved in the body's internal immune response. Different types of white blood cells can attack pathogens either directly or indirectly. The immune system consists mainly of 3 types of white blood cells.
So, either directly or indirectly, they go and fight with these pathogens. Now, they say inside the white blood cell, there are 3 types of white blood cell, or you can say there are 3 types. Not inside, I will say there are 3 types of white blood cells. One is the macrophage, one is the T cell, and one is B cell. That's what we are learning now. I told you what is, I will tell you now what is a T cell here. And then I will say what are B cells, and we'll learn about macrophages. These are the types of white blood cells: T cells, B cells, and macrophage.
Cells, macrophages, T cells, and B cells. The type of white blood cells called macrophages patrol your body's tissues for antigens. When they encounter a pathogen, a macrophage can attack and destroy it directly by engulfing and digesting the pathogen. When the macrophage encounters an antigen, the macrophage triggers the immune response.
Now girls, what is she saying about macrophage? She says macrophage usually, it's a type of white blood cells which is there on the outer surface area, which gives a very quick response. Imagine some pathogen, it enters, so macrophage knows how to fight with it and not let enter or stick directly to the macrophage, and it gives a response. It knows how to fight with the coming pathogen. Again, I will play and listen to it again.
The type of white blood cells called macrophages patrol your body's tissues for antigens. When they encounter a pathogen,
so what does it do? It controls the body tissue. It controls the body tissue, can be your skin tissue, your any organ tissue. So, when the tissue is damaged, this macrophage, it doesn't allow the virus to enter the cell. It becomes like a barrier, like a gate to fight with that virus or fight with that bacteria or fight with that fungus.
A macrophage can attack and destroy it directly by engulfing and digesting the pathogen.
I'm sorry about that.
When the macrophage encounters an antigen, the macrophage triggers the immune response.
1 minute, guys. I don't know why it's not coming.
The type of white blood cells called macrophages.
I think there is some. So girls, again, let us start. White blood cells are 3 types: macrophages, T cells, and B cells. Macrophages are those kind of white blood cells that destroy pathogens by engulfing and digesting them. You have to know that they are mixing in them, they are digesting them. Now, when you come to antigen, it's a material that is entering the pathogen, that is producing some protein and entering in the body that stimulate the immune response. Again, T cell is type of body white blood cell that coordinate the body. You must remember, they coordinate and attack the infected body cells. And when I say B cell, they produce. Those are type of white blood cells. Those produce or they make antibodies to attach to specific antigens.
As the period is done.
Yes, okay dear, thank you.